the new. It's a year-long. Has it got a fancy name, Art? Is it like the COVID Payment Protection Program? COVID Power
Well, you
Payment
got
Plan.
partly right there. Chris. The COVID payment plan, and what commissioners have passed earlier this week is a 12-month. Excuse me. A 12-month payment plan to help customers.
You all right?
Have you been tested for COVID, Art? They're doing a community testing.
You know what? It's funny you said that. I've passed several times.
Wow.
All right.
Sure.
Wow.
Just to make sure. But I don't exactly like that Q-tip going far back. But
Man.
you know what? It takes go far back, take a hard left, and then it just stings something back there.
Hard left. I think when I got mine, they took a hard right.
All right.
Must not
So
like me.
They hit the other side.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, this is for a COVID payment plan, where customers who are disadvantaged, who are experiencing those financial hardships, can enter up to a 12-month payment plan with both water or power. They could communicate with GPA via phone. GPA will be 647-5787, and with Waterworks it'll be 647-7800 or 7803. They can also communicate with both utilities. For GPA, it'll be customers first at gpagwa.com, or for commercial customers, business first at gpagwa.com. And they'll communicate their situation, speak with a customer service rep, let them know that they want to get into the COVID payment plan, and they'll work that payment plan going up to 12 months again. And customer service reps, Chris and Bree, would do it on a case-by-case basis, and they'll determine, what's workable for the customer. I think what's important is to communicate that you want to get into this plan, get on it before the 1st of July. I know there's been out there in the community, there's some people. Well, is it 12 days or 12 months? No, it's a 12-month payment plan, and we have to begin that 12th month at a certain date so we can track it. So July 1st would be that date. So communicate with both water or power, and before the 1st. So we have some time to do that, and we're going to keep all the available payment options open and available. You can do it either through payment app, payment by phone, pay by mail, drop boxes, or our satellite offices, or even the drive-through. Don't forget, we still have the drive-through two drive-through portals here at Vidian, at the Gloria B. Nelson Public Service Building, and that's available from 7:30 to 3:30 daily. So visit us, make the payments, and get those payment arrangements in place while the relief efforts are ongoing. You can communicate that with either utility and work out those payment plans.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Ladies
go
first.
ahead.
No. I don't want to say.
Hey, listen. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to listen.
Okay, then I guess I'll go. Did you guys see, or do you have any numbers or anything like that to give us an idea of just how many ratepayers were not able to keep up with their payments because of COVID?
Well, I don't have hard numbers, Bree, but I know it's up there. It's a couple thousand of them are undergoing the hardship, and I want to just communicate that we're very empathetic to that. We understand, we're a part of this island community. That sentiment's been expressed from our CCU to management down to all our employees. We understand what's going on, and we want to work it out with them. Of course, we cannot give free power, free water services, but we're going to work it out with customers on a case-by-case basis so we can get them through this. And what we do not want is a disruption of services. What we want to do is continue that to get them through this and to keep those services on.
Do you have a percentage?
Excuse me?
Do you have a percentage? Maybe.
How about just a ballpark, a guesstimate?
I don't want to do a guesstimate without some hard numbers, Chris and Bree. I just know that there's many of them out there.
Right.
I hear it almost every day from calls coming in.
Yeah.
What can we do? What can GP do to help us out? And I'm glad that we're rolling out this plan.
This is anecdotal, Art, but there are 4 people in this room, and I'm assuming 2 of them are having a hard time with their power. So.
Well, give us a call, and let's work out that payment plan.
Okay. Art, what about consumption? We've had Simon on a couple of times. We haven't been able to talk about consumption. What were people's bills, water, power, looking like during the stay-home orders?
I know that. Well, we'll consider this though, Chris. I know that a lot of people were staying home, including my family, and our consumption went up a little bit. Now, be mindful that we were able to lower, at least on the GPA side, the fuel recovery charge at least three times since the beginning of this year, so that helped. And just having the kids home, made it a lot. They have a lot of things to do at the house. They're playing the video games. They're online and so forth. The aircon's on more than usual. But actually, for our household, it just crept up a little bit. And the offset with the lowering of the fuel recovery charge at least three times did help out. But that's my household. I don't know what everybody else's own is. I don't want to use our example because I knew going forward that this.
You know all the tricks too, Art, because you work at GPA, so you know how to flip. You turn the aircon on like that way at 45-degree angle, and it reduces the consumption by 4%.
It's funny you mentioned that, Chris, because we have a whole bunch of those tricks and tips and so forth on our website.
I know.
You can learn what it is to help circulate the air around the house a little more than normally.
We got you, Art. Let's talk about that with the aircon, right? Because I got a friend that works at GPA, and we always talk about this. Is it better to leave the aircon on all day, or is it better to turn it off and turn it on?
Mm-hmm.
I would just turn it off, Chris. I mean, if it's on and nobody's home, I mean, who's benefiting from that? And if we come home and we turn it on, at the most 15 minutes, and then you can turn on an oscillating fan or a ceiling fan to help circulate the air. I mean, that'll cool off the house a lot quicker. And then if you're like me and you plow the roof of all that heat reflecting paint, then
that's another trick, right?
Yeah. Well, another trick, another technique, another recommendation, and I'm lucky enough in Cañada where we have some shade trees to cool off that part of the house. Where in the morning and then towards the afternoon, where the shade covers that wall, and it doesn't heat up and the windows open up and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you know what? Another thing, Chris, is important, and a lot of people may not appreciate this. Keeping those aircon filters clean makes a big difference.
It does, because or else the aircon has to work so much harder, right?
That's correct, and even the grill on the outside. If you don't have that protective sealing and wash it down once in a while, that dirt and mildew will build up, and it'll just make it even harder for your unit to work.
What about the water heater, Art?
In my household, we have a timer.
Okay.
We have a timer. I know sometimes when we have these short intermittent outages, it throws the clock off, but it's easy to reset. And I would recommend that you have a certified electrician do that installation. I mean, just to follow the instructions with the product is a little bit tricky, and a certified electrician can best interpret that and hook it up safe for you. What
if you don't have a timer and you got the whole, the box thing? I forget what's it called.
Flip the breaker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people who do that, but yeah. I would just recommend against that. I mean, if you go to the breaker box, the circuit panel, that's a little bit more dangerous than just flipping the disconnect switch where you're at. But a lot of people I know do that. They go to the disconnect switch, not the circuit panel, disconnect switch and shut it off from there. But just for me to do that, I would just set up a timer. Might as well, you can set a time and forget about it and make sure that it's on for an hour in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, and then you have enough hot water in your tank for everybody. You know what? I don't know what it is, but I never get the hot water coming home. It's always finished up by the time I get back.
Yeah. I grew up with no hot water.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. There wasn't any need for any hot water, but nowadays I guess you need it for a lot of other things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because so that's why I just leave it on anyway. It's just something I'm like, I never want to have no hot water again now that I've made it. That's my family. That's how you make it. You got hot water? Yep, he made it.
Yeah, you made it. That's it.
Jay?
Oh, I was also going to say there is that thing about like when someone else in your house is showering, don't flush the toilet. Because you will give them a very, very shocking surprise.
And the settings, you would just look at what you can tolerate and so forth. But don't make it too hot where it's scalding hot.
Well, you guys are high tech. I just have the old one. You got a timer that massages you when you turn it on?
Sure. What we do in the household is set it to a point where you could just leave it on and just forget the cold water. Just leave the hot water on, and it's comfortable and warm enough where you could use that for your whole shower.
All right, Art. Anything else? So maybe.
No, that's about it, Chris.
Okay.
I mean, just to get into this 12-month payment plan, please communicate with both water and power. Get on it if you need it. It doesn't have to be up to 12 months, but please communicate that with the utilities, because again, the last thing we want to do is interrupt your service to your home or business.
All right, thanks, Art.
Thank you, Art, so much.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Anytime.
You.
Yep. You want to call us next week and announce you're lowering the bills, we'll get you on right away.
All right, Chris. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Art. Wash your hands.
Take care.
Okay. 8:47. Good guy, Art Perez. We'll take a short break and get ready, guys. We're going to go behind bars with Major Antonogan next on Containing COVID.
Keeping you informed, KUAM News brings you Banking 671, brought to you by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, and Coast 360 Federal Credit Union. Together